The Sports Renegades podcast on SportsTownChicago.com. Welcome back to the Sports Renegades here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky.
We talked about, we recapped the NFL divisional games, and there was a couple good ones. The second segment that we did, we talked about the NFL picks for the Super Bowl and everything. And now we're going to talk about the crazy move that ended up happening today. It's not immediate, but it's going to happen, I guess. The Oakland Raiders will be no longer located in Oakland. They apparently are moving to Las Vegas. This is the second team in a span of like a week and a half that has moved locations. You have the Chargers moving to Los Angeles, becoming the Los Angeles Chargers, and now you have the Raiders to Las Vegas. So in the next few years, Las Vegas is going to have a professional hockey team and now an NFL team.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they did file for the relocation, except Bay Area investors are still working to keep the Raiders in Oakland, and
good for them.
I don't really get it. Why are you betraying your fan base?
I don't get it. That is one of the most hardcore fan bases in the NFL. Ever since they moved from Los Angeles to Oakland in the 80s, I think, or 90s or something, I mean, that has been a really good fan base, and they're like, a crazy rabid fan base too, but they're a good fan base, and especially doing this like after a year where Oakland actually is good for like the first time in like 10 years or more. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, I agree Las Vegas is the kind of city that needs more professional sporting teams.
Yeah.
They need a football team. They need a hockey team. There's a rumor they might get an MLS team.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Raiders are the team that should be moving, though.
They could have moved the Chargers to Vegas. That would have made a little more sense. But, it's just like... because like
the Las Vegas Chargers.
Yeah, something like that. Because,
that's a more catchy name than the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. Because, San Diego does not have the fan base that Oakland has.
Right, and the move will require approval from at least 24 of the league's owners, and the voting is expected to take place at a meeting in March.
Yeah, I don't like this.
They did the report though from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport.
Yep,
is that it's gaining momentum.
Right, and it's going to be. It's going to happen, and it's kind of upsetting. And don't forget the Warriors are moving out of Oakland. They're going to be in San Francisco instead. It's right across the Bay, so it's not a huge deal, but the only team playing in Oakland now is going to be the Oakland A's. They're going to have that Coliseum all to themselves now, Ryan.
Yeah, well, the Raiders lease is they still have to they have to remain for at least two more seasons, and then they can move.
Right. It's just upsetting that in the coming years they're going to be leaving, and those fans are going to be upset, and I understand why. How can you not find a way to keep that team in Oakland? It doesn't,
They can find a way. It just sounds like they don't want to.
And I don't understand what the fascination with L.A. is either, specifically for the Chargers and now the Rams going back there last year. It's kind of ridiculous because it's like that they had two teams in L.A. They had the Los Angeles Rams, Los Angeles Raiders. They both left L.A. because they didn't have fan support, because it didn't help. Both of the teams were probably bad too. And then one goes to St. Louis and one goes to Oakland, and the one in Oakland thrived. The one in St. Louis thrived for like the 1 year that they went to the Super Bowl. But it's like, it's kind of ridiculous that they think that, they can just rotate, every 20 years, have them moving back to L.A., and then another 20 years from now, maybe there'll be another football team in St. Louis. It's just ridiculous.
It is. And really, the NFL is the only one you're actually hearing about this relocation nonsense.
And, what about Jacksonville? If you're going to relocate a team to, like, Las Vegas, how about Jacksonville or something? A team where nobody cares. Who cares about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
They don't have a very big fan base, and they'd be a good one to move out to Vegas.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Except then that would create a conflict with the divisions and trying to get 4 teams in each division.
Well, hey, when they first made the divisions back in like the 70s or 80s, when the Bears, were winning the division every year, Tampa Bay was in the Central Division along with Green Bay and Chicago and Detroit and Minnesota. So, it's not as big of a deal, the divisions, as people see.
Man, how long ago could
and
that have
Dallas
been?
is in the NFC East.
If the Bears were the Bears winning the division every year?
Oh, yeah, that was back in the 80s. Are we
talking about ancient times?
I'm talking about, the 85 Bears era.
Yeah. Before Ted Phillips and... just thinking about that is so frustrating. The Packers have made the playoffs in 8 consecutive seasons. The Bears have made the playoffs 5 times in the last 25 years.
Yep, they made it in.
Why did it take until now or a couple of years ago to think that something needed to be done, something needed to be changed?
They made it in 94, 2001, 2005, 2006, and 2010.
And I believe they only have 4 playoff wins to show for it in that time period also.
Yep, they got the one in 94 on New Year's Day 95 against the Vikings. They got shut down by Donovan McNabb in 2001. 2005 they got shut down by Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith. And in 2006, they had the 2 playoff wins there, and then the one in 2010.
How embarrassing for the once proud franchise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's extremely embarrassing. Speaking of the Bears, let's talk about sort of their not necessarily a mock draft unless you want to do that later on, but just sort of who we think. We talked a little bit about it last week. Who we think that they should take at number 3. At least who's going to be available.
I've voiced my opinion. I want Jonathan Allen from Alabama, and in Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft 1.0. He has Myles Garrett going first overall to Cleveland.
Okay.
Mitch Trubinsky from UNC, a quarterback, going to San Francisco at number 2.
See, I don't know.
And Jonathan Allen from Alabama going to the Bears.
See, is he really the number 1 quarterback, though? Trubinsky, is he going to be the number 1 quarterback in this draft? I'm just not so sure. I mean, I don't think he's bad, but a quarterback from North Carolina, that has red flags for me.
Yeah, see, there's really no clear cut, and in this, it's only the top 8 picks. He's got number 6. He has Deshaun Kaiser from Notre Dame going to the Jets.
Okay, I could see that just because that's another mistake waiting to happen.
Yeah, except that the Jets were to take a quarterback at number 6. That makes the Hackenberg pick last year in the 2nd round look like a total waste.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was bad.
I mean, that would probably infuriate some
we
people.
knew it was going to be bad, too. Because we kind of knew about Hackenberg. We knew how bad that was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if he could, and if for a Week 17 game that meant nothing, if they didn't think he could play better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, there's really something off, and that would make that a really bad pick.
Yeah.
Except regardless, I really hope the Bears can get Jonathan Allen with that number 3 pick. He's the game changer that they need on the defense, that franchise pass rusher that they've been lacking. A young, athletic guy that can consistently get to the quarterback. That'd be a great fit in John Fox and Vic Fangio's defense.
Yeah.
I think he's the game changer that defense needs, and so keeping fingers crossed that they'll be able to select him.
Yeah, well, the thing that they got going for him is usually the draft picks from Alabama usually turn out and usually play pretty well. So that's one, and that's because of the system that they have down there. And then 2, I think the Bears just need to get the best athlete available at that spot, and it seems like Jonathan Allen is. I don't know what other mock drafts have, but I'm assuming. I mean, we know Jonathan Allen is on the Bears' watch list. That's for sure.
I certainly hope he is.
I would think so. If not, then that would be a big issue. But there's probably a lot of guys that they have on their list right now. It all depends. How big and bold they want to go. Do they want to make a smart pick by picking like Jonathan Allen, somebody who can anchor the defense, or do they want to go quarterback? Which there's been talk that they're going to go quarterback. We don't know for sure, but I guess it's always possible that they go quarterback.
Yeah, I can't see it unless they're 100% convinced that they can that number 3 overall they'll get a franchise quarterback. Because I think someone like Ben Kaya could still be available in that second round. And before we continue that talk, the Bears announced the hiring of 3 assistant coaches: Jeremiah Washburn as the offensive line coach, Curtis Modkins as the running backs coach.
Okay. I've never heard of these guys, but that's fine.
Yeah, hold on. The article is loading.
Oh, that's fine.
And the running back coach, Curtis Modkins, has 22 years of coaching experience, and Roy Anderson has been hired as assistant defensive backs coach. Washburn has spent 15 years in the NFL, most recently as an assistant offensive line coach with the Dolphins in 2016. So you can kind of maybe attribute him with Jay Ajayi rushing for 1,272 yards.
Yeah, seriously, a no-name that just that ends up being really good.
And he worked for the Lions for the previous 7 seasons before that. Modkins, as I said, 22 years of coaching, which is the last 9 have been spent with the 49ers. In 2016, he was the 49ers offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he was also an offensive coordinator for Ryan Fitzpatrick in Buffalo.
Yeah, so
Modkins has been running around as a running backs coach. So
hey, whatever works.
Right, he had to replace Sean Drayton, which you hope that he's not too big of a loss and that Jordan Howard can pick up where he left off.
I think he will. I really like Jordan Howard. I think we all kind of do. Definitely better than Jeremy Langford. He just needs to hold on to the ball a little better, and he will be really good because, I mean, he was didn't he rush as far as I think as far as rookies?
Number 2 rookie, and he didn't even run the first 3 games
next to Ezekiel, obviously. So yeah, Jordan Howard certainly will be a good running back moving forward. Hopefully he can be like the next Matt Forte.
Mm-hmm. And also, back to who the Bears could take, Mel Kiper predicts the Bears are going to get Jonathan Allen as well.
All right, well,
I like seeing guys that are saying the Bears will take Allen because he's the kind of guy they need.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to have a call-in, hopefully, from Anubhav, and he will talk about the Bulls. He's been on before. And we'll talk about all the dysfunction of the Bulls and their horrible loss to the Dallas Mavericks a couple nights ago as well. You're listening to the Sports Renegades at SportsTownChicago.com. The Sports Renegades podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.